Hi guys, and welcome to our first session for week 3. Excuse me, I apologize for yesterday, and even though I still do sound bad, I assure you I'll sound way better than I did yesterday. Thank you for understanding. I apologize again, and like I said in the email yesterday, if this has put you behind, please let me know so I can give you the extension. No questions asked. I get it. So if you need an extension because I've had to push these lectures, please just let me know so I can give it to you. Okay, today we are going to do live critique. So I'm going to switch over to Muse. And again, I've renamed your files so to help with privacy. So we're going to start with student 1. And we're going to do full critique. So I'm going to be starting with your home pages, and then we'll go to the degree page just so that we can check everything out and take a look at it. A homepage looks good. You've done a really good job here. Let's look at it in preview, and I am concerned about that. You've got some extra tabs here. You need to go ahead and remove those until they need to be added so that your menu bar looks the way it's supposed to and you don't have these untitled pages here. You could add a little bit of white space here at the top of this page, just to get some white space under that logo so it's not sitting down on that red line there. Let's go into your master page and take a look at that. And your header. This is top of page. You need to be sure this is the actual top of your page. This is your actual header area. You have your logo and stuff set up above the top of your page. You need to bring it down, put it in here. It's like, let's take a look at your layers panel here. There is an extra box here, it looks like. Bring to front, there's that. Bring to front. Let's select all of this out to range. Bring to front. There it is. Just take your logo and let's move it a little bit. We've got a white box on it too. And give it a little even amount of white space there. We need to bring your navigation bar back down. And here's the actual top of your page. It should be right there. Now let's move everything back up. Put your navigation bar back underneath. That fixes the master page. Now let's take a look at your breakpoints in this master page. 768 looks pretty good. Your cell phone view. Now we start seeing a problem here. All of this should be footer stuff, so let's get it inside your footer area. This is the text box. Objects, arrange, the front, there's your text box. Let's drag it down to the bottom of your screen. And then let's pull your social media stuff down. Stacking it on top of each other is fine. And you could even spread this out and do 2 columns above that last one. Looks like spreading it out is going to be your best option. select it all, open that align panel, center it, and oops, align to selection, distribute spacing so that it gets spread out there. This one's adjusted just a little bit. And then you have your footer area. And that looks a lot better. Okay, so we can close your master. Now let's look at your breakpoints on your home page. 768. Let's redesign this just a little bit. Take design, pull it up to the top, take your text box. This is an image. You need to actually type this text out, not make it a picture, and it should be stretched across your page. You can simply open up the Word document that you downloaded, highlight the text and copy it, and then grab your type tool and make a text box across here and paste it in there. It should not be an image. That will not work for your SEO. And let's see, did you get your alt text on your images? Yes, that looks good. So your home page in your 768 view needs to be adjusted a little bit. Let's look at it in 320. In 320, I would suggest doing the same thing. Move the slideshow down, stretch your text box across your screen, and put your heading above it so that everything is just stacked on top of each other. Let's take a look at the degree page. You've broken this up in two different tab boxes. You see this little symbol here? Let's zoom in here so you can see it good. It's on a blue background, so it's a little difficult to see. This symbol means that you are using non-web safe font, and that needs to be remedied for SEO purposes. So in order to remedy that, all you have to do is double click until you select that text box. Go over to your text, and you're using Futura Bold. You need to go down to web fonts, the web font category. Futura, I think, is an actual standard. You can go into your standard fonts with fallbacks. You have to choose a font from there. You cannot use your system fonts because it tells you exports as an image. SEO, search engines can't read images. So you have to use web safe font. So let's see, for the type of font, you could do simple Arial and then change it to bold right here and get the same basic look, and it will be web safe font. And you're gonna have to go through every single one and change them so that you're using a web safe font. And that icon will disappear and it will fix both of them, but you're gonna have to do that to both your tab groups. And that your tab groups look great. Again, these are images. This should be text. So you're going to need to fix that. You have to copy and paste the text from the Word document into here. You can't make it an image, which means you have to copy the text from Word and then actually draw a text box and paste the text in it. And you have your skills, same here. You need to make all your text, not images. Looks like in this case, this one is a text box. So let's go in your standard fonts. Arial. So you just need to go in and fix all your text boxes, it looks like. Except for the one on your home page was an actual photo. Yeah, this is an actual picture. You need to make it an actual text box. The desktop view, this looks pretty good. You've done a good job on the text part, the desktop version. I think since you've broken it down into 3 categories like this, it might benefit your website page more if you do a heading above each one of these boxes, associate's degree, bachelor's degree, and then they can look at each specific part of it. Let's take a look at your laptop, your iPad size. Again, change your font. Make sure you're using a web-safe font there. Arial. I think you need to rearrange this page. You see how your tabs are starting to cut off part of the description? That means they're too small. So do some rearranging here. Let's take all of this and move it down. Take your image. Maybe make this a little bigger on the laptop. And then let's scale your box and stack them. Contact form is too smushed. Pull this over, pull this out of the way. Stretch it across here. And then take your contact form. Here at the bottom. And since you've stretched these, you're going to need to come in here and make your text boxes bigger. And rearrange these a little bit. Let's see, what is your longest page? Just a little wider. Just a little bit bigger. And let's scale this box up a little bit. And just kind of rearrange these boxes until you get a good layout. Which means you can change things and move some stuff around, and it's not going to change it in your other layouts. It'll only change it in that one. And then move this one up a little bit, and you're going to want to do the same thing to it. Change your font, make it web safe. We'll kind of redesign these boxes a little bit so it looks good in this view. Web safe font. And it looks like you've accidentally kept the formatting from the Word document. You're going to have to go into each line and just move it up to where it's supposed to be so that you don't have these unintentional line breaks. Like that. And then we'll figure out which one of these tabs is your longest tab. I think your skills will be the longest one. Arial black. And shrink your box so you don't have so much white space there. And then we're going to pull in and put your contact form underneath it. I need to make sure that text is centered. And it is web safe as well. And it looks like we've got some extra spaces here. There we go. Now it's centered. And your contact form, make it bigger. Just kind of realign this until you get it looking the way it should be. And your message box, get lighter. On this one, I would take the blue off this background. Maybe make your text that navy blue. And center this, and you get more of a contact form appearance. Add a little bit of white space under that submit button. And this view looks really good. And then you have your cell phone view. Once again, make sure your font's web safe. And then let's take a look at your layers panel. With your mobile drop-down menu, it is important that let's select all. Stuff on this page, and I'm going to cut it. I'm going to make a new layer. Pull layer 2 under layer number 1. Go to edit, paste in place, so that mobile menu will always be on the top. And then you need to rearrange your boxes. This is way too big. Your text is in here somewhere. I think you have some sort of background here. Let's go back into your layers panel. I'm not sure what's going on there. I think that's on your master page, and that's what the problem was with your heading. You have a locked layer. Yes, right there. Delete that. Now let's go back into your degree page. That's better. Rearrange your content in this size. Sitting way too far down. Arrange your box, make it smaller. That means we're going to have to go to each one. Up. Again, website font, make sure you change that. And then move this tab group up and do the same with it. Go through each one and rearrange the stuff inside of it so that it fits better. This box needs to be spread out some. It's definitely too long. And then you have your contact form. And your master page has a box over the footer as well. So let's see if we can go in and find that. Layers panel. Now my muse is being crazy. Come on. There it is. Okay, back to your degree page. Oh, still a white box over that. We have something else locked here. We have a white box up there. Throw that away. That's fine. That's fine. And there's everything back. Let's shorten this page. You can hide this image in this view. Just do hide and right click, hide and breakpoint. The contact form should come up here. Let's move this down. And this will make a much better layout. Yes, 360 is what the breakpoint is set at. 320 is the smallest. That looks much better. So just a few minor changes there. You still have that work on that master page, and this will look a whole lot better. And then you will be good to go. Okay, let's take a look. Next one. Okay, let's start with the home page. The desktop version looks absolutely wonderful. And this has some animation on it, if I remember correctly. Yes, and this page looks absolutely wonderful. You did a great job on this home page. I think we need to take off the responsiveness on this bar, the resizing that's happening, and keep it the width of your website. So you can go into your master pages, on that red bar, and come right up here to where it says resize. And right now it's stretched to browser width. Simply turn it to none. That way it will stay the exact same size as the rest of your website, and you get uniformity there, and not something that one single piece that stretches all the way across the page. Since you've kept your header from stretching to browser width, then make this bar not stretch too. And let's check the responsiveness. This looks good. Let's check out your cell phone responsiveness. Just about right there. We've got a little bit of an issue going on right there. So let's check out your master page on this and see what's going on. 768, 20, we still look pretty good right there, but for some reason, you're stretching funny on the home page. $768 looks fine. Here looks fine. This comes up to the top. You're going to have a big gap is what I'm concerned about right here. You might want to move this text box up a little bit. And then, of course, move your slideshow up. File, preview page in browser. Yep, your image is resizing. That's what's going on here. Okay, that's what we need to fix. So back in your master page, you also need to set your image resize to none, because it's automatically shifting, and that is not what you want, because it's leaving a big gap. So every single size, you need to make sure you stop your resize, make it none. That will keep it from getting tiny between each size, because that's what's happening. Let me share my browser with you. What was happening before is when this was in between sizes, that picture was scaling down and was getting really tiny in between sizes, and that's not what you want. So now you can actually see a switch between sizes. And then it gets bigger. So you just need to go in and turn up that responsiveness and the resize and make it none. Okay, so that will fix the home page. So now let's take a look at your degree page. Love the contact form. This looks really good. Your tabs look good. You've got great pictures there. And this is the associates. These look good. Yeah, these look good. Okay, let's check out your different previews. This looks good. You stacked them here. That looks good. So your responsiveness in the screen looks pretty good. You've got a bunch of white space here. You could move everything up just a little bit and close in that white space so it's similar to the desktop. So there's not such a big gap here. Other than that, your responsiveness on the degrees page looks great. Once you fix that responsiveness on the master page, the home page will be fine. So overall, this looks good. Minor adjustments. You guys are doing awesome. Okay, let's see the next one. Let's start with the home page. Start with the desktop view. This looks good. You've got your alt text. Let's check your views. Homepage view, this looks pretty good. Your text is kind of sideways here. Let's try moving it over some so we get an even amount of white space going on here. So the page looks even when it's in this browser view. I know that the thumbnails kind of throw this off. What you can do in this case is take all of this and push it down a little bit. Double click on this thumbnail box and actually move it up above the slideshow and expand it across there like that. So that your thumbnails aren't sticking off at the side and making the slideshow uneven. So it's not weighted wrong. And then just center it on the page. And you could do them at top or you could put them underneath that. Either way would work. But that way they're not sticking off to the side, kind of making everything weighted weird. And then we have your cell phone. Same thing here. Move this down. Double click those thumbnails. Oops. Move them up at the top or the bottom, either one. And just stretch them across there. Center it, and then you can actually make your slideshow a little bit bigger and center it. Move your text up along with your buttons. Stretch that text box so everything fits on one line. There's still plenty of room for that. And move your text box up I would go ahead and stretch it across too. This is your little third-party widget, but you can't actually see it. It's a scroll, so you can just move it up out of the way. And even up that text across the page in this view. That's good. Let's take a look at your degree page. Looks like we're having a bit of an issue with it stretching across the board. I remember I had this problem with mine. It was being very, very picky about what size it wanted to be. You kind of have to do it in little small increments when it's acting like that, so that you can actually get it the size you want it, like that. This looks pretty good. Now you put your contact form inside this. So did you do 2 contact forms? You did 2, 1 on each tab. Nice work. I think you need to make them look like one another. You used 2 different color blues there. And on this contact form, I think I would take this blue box and make it the width of your box, or pretty close to the width of your box. And then actually center contact form in the center of it. It draws attention to the contact form, and then you can shorten your box so the page doesn't have so much white space. And then do the same thing to this one. Again, correct that blue color so that they are the same size. There we go. Oops. There we go. Again, you kind of have to play with that and move on a little bit at a time until you get it where you want it, and then it seems to work. But fix that blue. Make sure they're both the same color blues, not one, and not have one darker than the other. So desktop, that looks good. Fix it in each view, and then you're going to kind of have to make that adjustment in each view. But go ahead and expand that contact square and make it go across the page to draw some attention to this, is basically all you're doing. And same thing with the 360 view. Now you're probably going to want to rearrange your content, because now it's starting to look funny at this view. It's starting to look a little cramped, that sort of thing. So let's take your box. I'm going to push all this down a little out of the way a little bit. And I would go through here and just simply rearrange everything. This text box. Draw it across, maybe make this image bigger. Whoops. Put your text underneath that. This tab is keeping it open. Now it's just kind of doing what it wants to do. There we go. In that white space a little bit. We're still hanging over just a bit. Let's see if we can figure out why. In your cell phone view, you may just have to center it on the page, get it as small as you can on each side, and then center it. As long as you've kept your text in the margins where it should be. Oops. It's not going to cut off that text. The text box uneven there. It won't cut off your text, and just center everything. That looks much better. Come on. There we go. Like that. So again, just some minor changes in that smallest breakpoint. The smallest breakpoint is always the hardest one to do. And in your tablet, I would do like I suggested on the desktop. Just expand that colored box across there and then make sure everything matches the same color. If you're gonna have your extra color, the royal blue, make this box the royal blue like you have it on the Associates program. That's a little bright. So you might want to think about using the darker blue, but they should match. And up next, got your SEO. That looks good. And if I remember right, this has animation on it. Yes, this looks good. Well, let's look at your breakpoints. Look good here. And your smallest. This looks good. Let's take a look at your degree page. Use the accordion panel. The picture looks good. This works well. And you have your contact form. Your contact form looks great, very customized. Tablet version. You've got a little bit of an issue with your text here. Make sure you rearrange that. Add some space here. Pull them both down so they're even. And then we have your cell phone size. This looks good. This looks good. And your contact form at the bottom. This looks excellent. And this looks good. So just some minor adjustments there, and this page is ready to go. This looks good. And this box is awful cut off. Let's go in here. And it looks like looks like the Word document formatting copied over. So you need to go in and fix those broken lines. Just put your cursor in front of each line and hit your delete button and move it up so that we don't have all of these broken lines, so that there's not that big gap in text there. There we go. That looks better. Slideshow looks great. And the only slideshow I have, the suggestion I have about this slideshow is it looks just like it kind of cuts off there at the bottom. Like there should be more to it. That is the bottom of it. You just drag that down a little bit so you have some white space there, so it doesn't look like the end of that slideshow's just been cut off. That blue outline will follow the entire box, and it should be an even width there, so it probably needs to be just a little bit thicker, like that. Now let's take a look. That makes a big difference. Now it doesn't look like it's cut off and there's something missing at the bottom. Let's check your SEO. Good job. Now let's check your breakpoints. Now when you get into cell phone view, you start running into a little issue. This is going to look very cramped on a tablet. Things are going to look a lot smaller than they do on your screen because it is tablet. You have to keep that in mind. Your slideshow is a little uneven here. I would start stacking everything, and I would probably start this page with the slideshow. So just move everything down. Take your slideshow. Oops. Move it in here. Maybe even make it a little bigger. And then stretch these text boxes across here. And you have some additional lines to fix once you make this big stretch. You still have some weird line breaks going on. Like that. And this page will look much better. Center this. And then let's take a look at your cell phone view. And your cell phone view, that's what you did here was stack it. I would stack these text boxes. Instead of trying to do 2 columns on a cell phone, it makes it very difficult to read. Correct that line spacing there. And your slideshow here is a little small. Fill frame proportionally. Well, you have the fill frame proportionally on. Maybe it's just that one image. That's better. That looks better. That looks much better. So just a few minor adjustments there, but you guys are getting the idea. You've all done an excellent job. And be very proud of this. You're getting it down. Doing the line breaks and rearranging everything takes some practice. Just a few minor adjustments there. Sometimes you forget that what it looks like on your screen does not always mean it's going to look exactly like that on that object. What you need to remember is your screen is much bigger than a cell phone screen, even when you're looking at the 360 breakpoint. You need to remember that you're actually going to be looking at that on a small screen. So things are going to look way more cramped on that screen than they do on the app screen that you're looking at where you're building it. Sometimes you have to take your screen, shrink it down, so that you're seeing what you would see on a cell phone. So you make sure you're looking at it in that view without all that extra white space around it that makes things look less cramped. Having two columns there now, that takes on a whole different look when you're looking at it like that. That's going to be difficult to read on your cell phone, isn't it? Two columns on a little bitty screen like that. And most likely all this white space at the bottom you see, you're not going to see. You're going to see this on your cell phone. And the user is going to have to scroll down and they're going to get to this part. Well, that's a little difficult to read. We want to make it easy on them. So stretch those text boxes. Make it as easy as possible to read. Because the text is already going to be small because it's on a cell phone. So don't put it in two columns, which makes it even more difficult to read. That has a much better look. Any questions? Does anybody here need help with last week's stuff? Let's take a look at the degree page. Now we're running into some issues. Okay, let's take a look at what we have. Let's preview this. Yeah, we do have an issue there. Okay, we're on the associate's degree program. Let's go in here. This should be down here. Should be down here. Should be down here. Oh, got a lot of text boxes going on here. Love the picture. So now let's figure out what we're doing. Skills learned. And drop it down here. And this is where I'm assuming you were initially going to put those in 2, 3 columns, which you could very easily. Oh, you've got some more up here. Okay, so what I would suggest doing is taking potential careers and stretching it across like that. Fix this. Correct your spelling. And then do your skills learned, which is here. Stretch it across as well. Fix that line break. And then set up your columns across it. 1, 2, 3. I would do 3 columns across there, so that means you're going to have to copy some text out of here and make a new text box. Let's see here. Move this text box out of the way. I'm going to move them all out of the way for a second. One. 2. I'm going to select all these, make them wider, like that. And then I'm going to go in and copy some of this. This should actually be in the first box. Come on. Copy this one. And then we have animate, typography. I think we can get that in there. Oh, you copied the bullets. I see. Let's take all of that off. There's that one. Let's see, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's 4 in each column. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So actually this needs to move. No, that's. Four and 4 is 12. Go 5, 6 in one column, 5 in the rest. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These. That's this box, and then we have the last one. Oh, we're missing some. I forgot about that box up there. 1, 2, 3, 4. X. That one. For all of these don't go together. You have a list of your skills. Where you have these mixed. These. This is your potential career. So let's put these back where they belong. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops. These here. This one here. This one here. I still don't think this is correct. Let me go back to someone else's. These are mixed and shouldn't be. Come on. These are the skills learned. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's what's 16. I'm going to copy these. Those are your actual skills learned. And these. Are your potential careers. Okay, so we have our potential careers. And you could divide these up into boxes if you wanted. Two. You could do them all like that. Put skills learned underneath it. And do the same with this box. And just pull that up right underneath it. And you get a much better layout here. Do the same thing to the bachelor's degree. Kind of set it up the exact same way. That way things don't look so squished. And you have issues with this screen. You need to resize this box. Make your slideshow bigger. your layer panel here. There it is. In this view, you might want to double click till you get to that brown bounding box and make these pictures a little bigger. And then rearrange these text boxes. Potential careers is here. Select all three and make that text smaller. It's 14 point at cell phone size. That's going to look pretty big. You could go all the way down to 10 point on a cell phone and it looked pretty good. I'm going to take this box. This one a bit wider. So I get everything on one line. This one needs to be moved up. And my muse quit. Sorry, guys. I had to reopen that. I really hate it when that happens, but as you can see, it happens to all of us. Sometimes it just has had enough. And it's opening back up. Give me just a second. Here we go. Come on. Okay, much better. Let's shrink these boxes. Okay, and that's the Adobe one. We're going to move it out of the way for a second. And put this one here. And bring this one over here. And simply make it bigger. And then need to resize your box. But this is the associate, and needs to be fixed too. Here, nope, that goes down here. That goes here. That one goes over there. This one goes here. Again, I'm going to shrink that text down. Some quarters here. 3 columns here. Skills learned here. This one goes down here. There was 3 of them. These go there. And then you need to fix your contact box. Pull it up here. That's your name, email. Oops. Your home phone. Your cell phone. Oh, it's in the wrong order. There we go. Finally. And that shrinks it back down. It makes everything usable. Still need to do some work on the screen size here. Looks like your contact form is inside your tab group, and that is not what you want. Let's take care of that. I'm going to cut it. Your contact form should be accessible from no matter which tab they're on. Sit here outside of that tab group like that. All I did was cut it and then paste it outside the tab group so it's not inside of it. I don't have a long text box there. That's better than what it was, but something here is still causing. Let's see. This one ends here. Yeah, it does end that much further down. Let's see if we can't shrink this a little bit. That's better. That's better. On your bachelor's tab, it would be best if you broke this up into 3 boxes like on the other view, and of course made that box 10 point. That will cut down that white space gap that's going on there. Just play with them, set up both tabs the same way, and then you'll have a good layout in your cell phone view. I know it's always the hardest view, but keep looking at it, keep working on it until you get it exactly the way you need it. We have an extra text box here. There we go. Desktop view. You just need to go through here and fix your text boxes and align them up down here where they're supposed to be. Move them all around and make this look the way it's supposed to. And then your tabs will look fine. You kind of have to work with them. Be patient with those tabs. I know things get a little crazy inside of them. They don't do exactly what they're supposed to do when they're supposed to do it. Just be patient with them. Move stuff a little bit at a time. Usually that fixes it. Move it in smaller increments. And that box will adjust the way it's supposed to. All right, guys. Any questions? Okay, then we'll call it an evening. I will have all your grades back to you this evening. You guys did a great job. Overall, you did a fantastic job. We just need to play around with those breakpoints a little bit, and then you guys will be good to go. So just some small adjustments. You guys are awesome. You did an excellent job. So pat yourselves on the back. Be proud of that. I will have all of your grades back to you this evening. And I will see you guys for our second lecture tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time, and I will do the demos for this week. Sound good? Okay, guys, I'll see you later. Daniel, do you have any questions? Okay, Daniel, then I will see you tomorrow, hopefully, if you can make it. Bye.